Therapy is built on a foundation of absolute trust. For most families, this room is a secure vault, a place where they can share their deepest struggles, keeping their words inside these four walls. There is one vital exception to that secrecy. That vault opens the moment there is a direct threat to the physical safety of a child. This diagram shows the legal hierarchy clinicians must follow. At the very top is a standard called reasonable cause to believe. This means a therapist doesn't need absolute proof. They just need enough evidence, like seeing smoke, to conclude it's likely a child is being harmed. This suspicion takes priority over every other privacy rule. Reporting is a strict legal obligation. It is a mandate that replaces the usual rules of the therapy room to ensure a child's safety. While the law sounds clear-cut in a textbook, real life is often much harder to read.
Clinicians have to look at families in crisis and distinguish between actual abuse and the weight of extreme circumstantial stress. To navigate this, clinicians use a 2 phone calls framework. Every observation is sorted into one of 2 buckets, shown on this decision tree. One path leads to state intervention, like Child Protective Services. The other leads to community resources. Clinicians must pick the right path at this exact fork, protecting the child without misdirecting the law toward a family that is simply drowning. This document highlights the specific red flags that trigger an automatic report to the state: non-accidental harm, sexual abuse, and severe neglect. Physical discipline is the most frequent gray area. Many parents use corporal punishment, like spanking, believing it's a necessary part of parenting. This diagram shows the exact legal dividing line. Discipline becomes a reportable offense the moment it leaves physical evidence. If an action results in marks, fading bruises, or broken skin, the law considers it abuse. Once a clinician sees evidence that makes them suspect harm is likely, they have exactly 48 hours to contact the authorities. During this window, the therapist is not an investigator. They don't cross-examine the child or try to solve the case. Their only job is to provide the known facts to the people who are trained to handle the investigation. When a child is in immediate danger, the requirement to stop that harm overrides everything else, even the therapist's relationship with the parents. Many situations look concerning on the surface, but are actually symptoms of systemic hardship. These are families facing yellow flags, moments that signal a need for support rather than a state investigation. Take a common example. A child arrives at a session unwashed, wearing the same dirty clothes for a week, and shivering because they don't own a winter coat. To an outsider, this looks like neglect, but the therapist may discover the parent is a widow working 3 jobs just to keep a roof over the family's head. This chart clarifies a major rule. Poverty is not neglect. Failing to provide because you lack money requires help, not a legal report. Data shows families of color are disproportionately reported for neglect when the real issue is simply a lack of financial resources. Punishing a family for being poor only adds more trauma to the child's life. These parents need the second phone call, a connection to food banks, housing programs, and basic human empathy. Clinicians serve as society's early warning system. They are trained to see both immediate danger and deep-seated desperation. If a child is in physical danger or showing marks of abuse, the clinician acts as a shield, reporting the facts to the state to stop the harm. If a parent is simply overwhelmed by poverty or stress, the clinician acts as a bridge, wrapping that family in the resources they need to get back on their feet. Effective therapists discuss these rules openly in the very first meeting. By being transparent about how the law works, they ensure parents never feel ambushed by these requirements. Bringing a child to a therapist is an act of parental strength. It shows a commitment to well-being that outweighs the fear of judgment. Ultimately, the goal is to walk alongside these families, keeping every child safe while helping every parent find the stability they need to succeed.